Hey there, Patriots. Welcome back to the front lines. It's Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And I am back. Yes, I'm back from YouTube Shadow Realm, where they sent me there for a week for pushing misinformation. That video in question will be up on Rumble for everybody to see. And I will start making more exclusive videos on Rumble because YouTube does not like it when I talk about certain subjects on their platform. So I'll make sure to advertise that in my next videos whenever I do make an exclusive for Rumble. But make sure you follow me on alternative platforms like Getter, um, Minds, and Twitter, while also following me on both Rumble and Odyssey because all my videos that I post here on YouTube should now be synced to both platforms. And so if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on both those platforms. But again, make sure you follow me on social media so I can then, you guys get notified when I do a exclusive video for Rumble. Okay. The reason why I haven't been posting, I should have posted a lot of more videos last week, but I'm a workaholic and I'm a workoutaholic. I've been working 10-hour weeks last week, and in the morning times I'll get up, go to the gym because I'm like, damn, if I don't work out, my mood will be completely destroyed for the rest of the day. And apparently to MSNBC, that's white supremacy, right? Me liking to work out a lot or encouraging other people to work out is white supremacy, and it's akin to Hitler. Okay, let's hop into this. Pandemic fitness trends have gone extreme, literally. White supremacists' latest scheme to valorize violence and hypermasculinity has gone digital. It appears the far right has taken advantage of pandemic at home fitness trends to expand its decade plus radicalization of physical MMA in sports spaces. Earlier this month, researchers reported that a network of online fascist fitness, okay, that just sounds like they're making up shit, which they always do. Chat groups on the encrypted platform Telegram are recruiting and radicalizing young men with neo Nazi and white supremacist extremist ideologies, right? Um, I don't believe any of that crap because neo-Nazi, white supremacists, all this other crap has been watered down so much. They use it for every single thing that the meaning has been watered down, and so everybody just says, "Oh, well, maybe a bunch of moderate conservatives are posting things saying, hey, let's work out, be strong, be a man, go out, hit the gym at least, 3 times a week or whatever, learn some type of physical mixed martial arts in order to, because I'm gonna tell you a personal story. I do boxing, I do jujitsu, and I do Muay Thai, right? The gym that I go to teaches all three of those at different times. I love it. Being physically, actually sparring with people makes you more self-aware about your body. You go to the gym, you work out, you lift weights, whatever. But when you actually go out and you actually box, do Muay Thai, or do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have to apply that strength, right? You learn a lot that, hey, you can't just be a big musclehead while doing Jiu-Jitsu because your muscles will work against you, where you can easily get put in a arm hold, arm bar, chokehold, whatever, because you will realize that being just completely jacked doesn't really help you because you're not limber, you're not flexible. People who are far more flexible than you can easily get you in submission holds, right? That is so again, you go to the gym, you get strong by lifting weights, doing all sorts of exercises, but when you do Muay Thai or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's applying the strength. You start learning how to really apply that strength that apply your muscles, your body into different techniques, and that actually helps you build confidence. It helps you build self-confidence and essentially getting punched in the face, right? Mike Tyson always says, people like to talk shit until they get punched in the face. Yeah, it definitely makes you more self-aware. It actually humbles you when you go into a gym and you spar with people, and you learn real quick that you're not the big dog in the room, right? You're probably the big dog in your friend groups. You're the big dog at your office job where everybody kind of just sits around and does nothing for the rest of for a whole damn 8 hours, right? You go to an actual gym where people physically work out. Some people are trying to do this professionally, and you're boxing against them, you're wrestling against them. You learn really quick that you're weak, okay? And then, but guess what? You humble yourself and you learn that, hey, I can become, hopefully get to their level, or I can keep training until I can get to somewhere near their level, right? Okay. it's a good ego check, right? For all these leftists out there, they don't have that. They don't like doing any of this crap because the minute that they get punched in the face, they're gonna quit, right? It's Muay Thai. All these sports are the great equalizer. If you're a person who thinks you're hot shit, have a big ego, the minute that you get beat up or whatever and you quit, that pretty much tells me, that pretty much puts you in your place. That hey, you're a person that has a small, fragile ego, and that you probably don't need to be anywhere near people because you're just a terrible human being. Okay, you know, I the minute I went into these gyms, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked, and I did get my ass kicked, and I was like, shit, hey, I can get to these guys level, and then I started actually competing with these guys and starting to learn how to actually box, how to actually wrestle, do all these different tactics, and I actually started learning a lot. I still got my butt whooped, I still got put in submission holds, but hey, I'm like, shit, I didn't know anything. I know I don't know anything, but I'm learning and I'm getting better, and sometimes I actually do win some sparring matches, and it feels great. Okay, it feels great to do these things. That's what real men should be doing, in my opinion. This is what real men should be doing. Men should be going out, learning things, extra. It's all good fun. At the end of the day, a lot of this is good fun. Pretty much mixed martial arts is ways to for self defense. You're not going out. You're not learning these sports to go out and say, oh yeah, I can go out and beat the shit out of anybody. No, it's for self defense. It's a good way to learn about yourself, your body, how you can apply your strength to different tactics, techniques, and things like that. It is the great equalizer. Things that these leftists don't like. They don't like it when you actually learn techniques to fight back against them, or learn techniques to better yourself, right? To keep yourself in tip top shape. And this is one of the ways that they try to discredit you, because they claim that physical fitness has always been central to the far right. In Mein Kampf, Hitler fixated, right? Because Hitler fixated on boxing jiu-jitsu, believing they could help him create an army of millions whose aggressive spirit and impeccably trained bodies, combined with the fanatical love of the fatherland, would do more for the German nation than any mediocre tactical weapons training, right? Because Hitler fixated on boxing and jiu-jitsu for his people, therefore anybody else who fixates on it, you should be aware, you should be wary of them, that they might be a neo-Nazi. Every fucking culture in human existence had their own form of mixed martial arts. They had their own form of like weapons training, way before guns and bombs and all this other crap was created. Like, you can't sit here and just say, well, because Hitler liked boxing jiu-jitsu, therefore anybody else who has any type of fixation on it is akin to Hitler. That makes no fucking sense. You're pulling shit out your ass. It's what you're doing, right? The intersection of extremism and fitness leans into a shared obsession with the male body, training, masculinity, and testosterone strength and competition, right? Things that they want to destroy. They want to emasculate men. They want people to be weak, pathetic losers, because when that happens, you simply just beg the government to do whatever. These people who are pushing these ideologies want you to be like Wall-E, right? If you watch that movie, though, the human beings, after they left Earth because Earth was too polluted, they all were just fat, pathetic losers. They were just fat people hovering around their chairs, and they couldn't do anything for themselves. And the AI completely took over the ship and was just doing whatever it wanted, until the captain of the ship had to physically force himself to walk, walk on his feet, that walk on his legs that he hasn't walked on in several decades. He had to physically get up and try to manually override the ship, and the ship was like, let me just do like a hard pivot, knowing that your ass is going to fly. It was funny. I love that movie, in fact. But this is the future that these leftists want you to live. These oligarchs, essentially, who are controlling things. This is how they want you to be. And we got evidence of this when we look at the Try Guys. Okay? Remember these guys from BuzzFeed? I haven't seen any. Have they still been making videos? I haven't heard about them in several years. I know BuzzFeed is actually going bankrupt right now, and people are going on strike. And it's like, yeah, what do you guys think? You guys are pathetic. You guys make shitty content. You lie all the time, and now people are dumping you, and you guys are kind of like screeching about it. But the article from this is I believe the Daily Wire. Report about this. According to the Daily Wire, an academic study from researchers at Brunel University, London, assessed 171 men. Looking at their height, weight, overall physical strength, and bicep circumference, along with their views on the redistribution of wealth and income inequality. The study published in the Evolution and Human Behavior Journal found that weaker men were more likely to favor socialist policies than stronger men. Other studies in the past have also suggested stronger men are more right wing than physically weaker men. Researchers found that men's opinions on redistribution of wealth could be predicted to their upper body strength, with powerful men more likely to take a conservative stance of protecting their own interests, noted the Telegraph of a 2013 study from the Aarhus University in Denmark. Okay, when it came to the Try Guys, they have the testosterone levels of 12-year-old boys. Apparently, they all this essentially when people used to go around and make fun of leftist men, calling them soy boys, weak, emasculated, children. They got upset and they were like, well, we're going to go get our testosterone levels checked to prove you guys wrong. And then it turned out that this study said, this article says that they have the testosterone levels of 12-year-old boys. Other studies pretty much said that, 12-year-old boys have the same testosterone levels as 85-year-old men. So some other studies will say that they had the testosterone levels of 85-year-old men, even though these guys are were in their mid-20s, I believe, when they actually did the study. And it's like, you guys just kind of just prove us right. You guys prove the right. Okay. We've been making fun of these guys for years, claiming that they're soy boys. They're basically children in the bodies of men, and it's all true, because one thing that feminists were trying to do back in 2015, 2016, I talked about this a lot, where it was the great emasculation of men, the great emasculating and demoralizing of men, where you started hearing all these buzzwords of we need more safe spaces for females, because Obama administration came out with that study that claimed that 1 in 5 women will be assaulted on a college campus. And then you have feminists going around saying that all men are essentially assaulters, right? Trying to demoralize men. They started claiming that men are, all attributes of men, of masculinity is toxic, right? Toxic masculinity. And then they try to push for more men to be feminized, right? You had all these pictures of men coming out saying, this is what a real feminist looks like, right? And they'll have their little pink shirt with the little feminist logo on it, and they're drinking their little Soylent milk and all this other crap. You have this study, just not study, an article from Only Feminists where it says, Dear men, stop working out. Physical fitness creates a cycle of toxic masculinity that must be eradicated. Okay? Everybody knows the common saying, weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, but then good times create weak men. Okay? What they've been trying to do over and over, right? They're now trying to kind of artificially manufacture weak men by demoralizing them in the media, pushing unhealthy body standards to both women and men, right? The body positivity movement. I was trying to find this article. This article like way back in 2016, 2017-ish, where New York City made a advertisement for their subway station. They had a bunch of ballet dancers dancing around the subway station. They're like, hey, ride our subway stations, right? These body positivity movement activists got so upset, right? It was, I guess they were their own little like non-profit or whatever. I don't know who the hell they were. I was trying to find this article because I was like, yeah, this is stupid. This is really stupid. But I couldn't find it. They completely erased all traces of that crap. But what they were trying to do was get that advertisement banned, because they were like, well, we don't like the fact that you guys have all these ballet dancers dancing around the subway station, because we believe that ballet dancers push a very unhealthy, unrealistic body standard. And it's like, I'm sorry that you guys are upset that skinny people are actually being able to physically go out, leap around, dance, and do things that you guys wish that you could do. But that's not my problem that you guys can't do that, right? You've been having Tess, this is Tess Holiday. Yeah, Tess Holiday, right? This new plus size model, right? They like to call these people plus size models. But they're trying to go around trying to claim that this is the new form of sexy. This is sexy. Anybody who's against this is fat phobic, and they hate women. They're misogynistic because women shouldn't be held to patriarchal body standards. But at the same time, you ask these type of women what type of men that would they like. Do you think Tess Holiday will really date a man the exact same body type as her? No. Do you think any of these women who are plus size models will date men the exact same body weight as them? No. They want skinny, muscular men, right? You also have Cosmopolitan pushing, this is healthy, right? Healthy at any weight. I got this art. I don't know this picture here. I was trying to figure out like what article it came from. I could not find. I think it's just some random artist. But weight is not an indicator of health. You have tons of other studies coming out that says, hey, you should probably lose weight. But then you have other leftists coming out and saying that modern day BMI, right, which is like body mass indicators. Modern day body mass indicators are sexist and racist. Okay, from the Huffington Post, I gained 70 pounds during the coof. Here's what happened on my first day back in the office, right? We're completely skip whatever the hell she says, but one of the things that I found interesting when reading this article is that they try to claim that trying to find it they try to claim that BMI standards today are based in white supremacy, and it's so fucking dumb. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Here we go. Fat people face discrimination in every aspect of society. Weight discrimination plays a role in hiring, determining wages, and firing. Racism also intersects with fat phobia, with studies showing that fat black women are discriminated against most in the workplace. We are more likely to experience medical bias and misdiagnosis, which can be deadly. I don't like dating apps, but even if I did, I'm not sure I could stomach opening myself up to a volley of microaggressions, alternating and fetishizing messages that turn immediately sexually. Um, like what? Okay, this is all part of intersectionality, right? They'll try to take any issue that they have with common day society and try to make up any fucking angle that they can to claim sexism, misogyny, racism, right? Any type of issue. Health, hey, you're unhealthy, and because if you're unhealthy, you may not be able to uh have the energy to work in certain fields, right? Which we all know, construction, you have to be have like some type of physical prowess to do construction because you're constantly walking around, you're constantly on your feet, you're constantly picking up heavy objects, right? You need to have some type of be in some type of shape to do those things. But then they'll sit there and say, well, those type of standards are not only fat phobic, but because we found that certain people of some random racial group aren't in this field, we're going to also try to take the racism angle and try to change, say, hey, you guys shouldn't expect us to do X because your standards are rooted in some type of racism, fat phobia, whatever. It makes absolutely no fucking sense because at the end of the day, they just want you to be fat losers. Okay, you had this. I guess she called herself a fat activist, right? Fat people face ridicule every day, but this prejudice is based on an overly simplistic understanding of health. Fat activist and academic Kat Paz says Dr. Paz is a senior lecturer in human development at Massey University, and she told Knights she is usually the fattest person in the room. I'm not just fat, I'm super fat. If someone is fat like myself who engages in health seeking behaviors and is healthy in a metabolic sense, do I then get to be considered healthy, or does simply that the nature and number of my BMI body mass index mean that nope, it doesn't matter what else I do, I can never attain that goal in that way. And then it turns out that she ended up dying. Okay, uh, from I believe they say it was like a heart attack. She died in her sleep. Okay, she didn't. I guess I'll say probably dying in your sleep is probably the best way to go. Um, I don't know. That's the I only hope if I do die, I die in my sleep, not in some random accident or like while driving or something, and then something bad happens after that, right? We only can everybody can only hope, okay? But at the end of the day, they just want you to be fat losers. They don't want you organizing, helping each other out, because at the end of the day, they all want you just to be those little those human beings in Wally that can't move around, can't physically defend yourself, can't physically do anything for yourself. So it's easier to then control you and do whatever the hell they want, push whatever agenda they want within the government, whatever, right? Uh and with all that being said, again, I'm not a biologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I'll tell you my personal story, right? When I started doing Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I got my ass kicked. But I went into that with knowing full and well that there's people who are gonna be there who know way more than me, and I'm here to learn, right? I'm here to learn these techniques, here to learn self defense. I got my ass beat. I started learning more and more. After a few months, I started winning some of my sparring match with other people. It felt great. You know, if you go into any of these mixed martial arts gyms or whatever, thinking that you're gonna be hot shit, you will be humbled quick, and you most likely will quit. You will quit because you have a very fragile ego. Leave all your ego, all that other crap at the door. I 100% recommend everybody go out and learn. Go to the gym. I go to the gym. I try my best to go to the gym 5 days a week. Okay, at most. It feels great because I definitely feel my mood improving. On days that I go to work and I don't go to the gym, and days that I do go to the gym before I go to work, I definitely feel a difference in my mood. I feel a difference in my energy outputs, my concentration, things like that. There's plenty of studies that proves that exercising. I think China. One thing that China does is they said that they have their students go out and do like PE before they do like math classes, because they found out that having being physically active helps concentration, helps with more blood flowing to your brain and all your other body parts, helps with concentration, helps with absorbing memory, right? It definitely helps you absorb more when you read, and things that you read, you write, whatever, right? And so there's plenty of studies, right? You don't have to be a doctor or a scientist to know this crap. You can go out and do a lot of this crap yourself, and you will definitely feel a difference. I feel a difference when I go work out before I go out and go to work and do all this other crap, right? I don't you don't have to be a doctor, but please go to a doctor before you do any type of anything, right? I gotta put that disclaimer. It's crazy that I probably have to do this because YouTube will try to construe this as medical misinformation. I'm not doing that. Go to a doctor, go to a scientist with all your bitches, gripes, complaints, concerns about your health, anything concerning your health in general, or medications or whatever, right? I'm just saying that when I go to the gym, I feel great. When I do Muay Thai, when I do boxing, when I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I feel great. It definitely helps me. It definitely is an ego booster, right? When you're out there actually competing, learning things, learning self defense, and you're actually you start off you're weak, you lose a lot of your sparring matches, but then the months goes on, you keep training, you start learning more, you start being able to dodge punches, you're able to start bobbing, weaving, and actually start contacting your opponents and things like that. You're learning a lot. It actually definitely helps your self-esteem, in my opinion. It definitely helped a lot with my self-esteem and what I can do, and a lot of things that I learned a lot about my body. Okay, that's pretty much the takeaway here. I learned a lot about my body. I learned the limits of my body. I learned that I can take a lot more physical pain than what I thought. I can take punches. I can take a lot of punches. Right. I remember this guy who pretty much was like 250, got me good, punched me, and I was like, damn. If that was anybody else, I probably would have been, knocked the hell out. But, I was like, damn, I didn't know I could take a punch like that. I was kind of like, stars. I kind of saw a little bit of stars, but I was able to, keep myself up and bob and weave and dodge all his other punches. But I was like, damn, I didn't know I can take a punch like that, but I'm not gonna go out and start trying to get in scraps, right? I'm not gonna go out and try to beat up people. No, no, I'm just doing this for self defense because it keeps me in shape. It makes me feel good. I definitely feel good. And at the end of the day, everybody in these gyms are nice. They're friendly. They're there for this exact same reason. They're there either to do this professionally, but they're at the end of the day, they're all there hanging out, doing something that they love. It's a community. This, at the end of the day, the left does not want you to build communities around strength training, being healthy, being in tip top physical shape, because at the end of the day, they want to be able to demoralize you. They want you to be weak, demoralized, so they can do whatever the hell they want to you, right? Whether it's the left or all these other people who just want to get something over you, right? Go out, be active, take care of your body, do some type of martial arts. I recommend everybody do some type of martial arts. Not I won't say do karate. I don't like karate. Do Muay Thai, boxing, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. One of those three or all three. I do all three. Do at least one of those if you can afford it, if you're able to do it, and or just go to a gym and do do boxing techniques on a punching bag. Right, you will feel a lot better about yourself. Actually, being in these gyms, actually sparring with people and things like that. I highly recommend it. But go to a doctor and get checked out before you do any of these physical activities. Make sure you're in tip top shape and there's no underlying problems that you may have before you start these programs or these regimens, right? Disclaimer, okay. But with all that being said, stay safe, stay sane, take care of your bodies, and I'll see you guys on the front lines.